Hey guys, welcome back one and all to another Final Fantasy Record Keeper video. I'm DD Forte, and today I want to talk to you guys about the new FF10 banner, what's in it, and I also want to talk about the new game mechanic, Grand Strike, Summon Strike. I think it's called Summon Strike. So, first things first, let's go over the new game mechanic, Summon Strike, and overall this new Burst Soul Break that Yuna received, and my opinions on it. Once again, this is my opinion. I mean, if you don't agree, then that's okay, because that's what makes us human. Anyways, so let's talk about this. Let's talk about the initial effect. So, restore a moderate amount of HP to all allies. Temporarily raises the magic in mind a moderate amount, and grants haste and burst mode to the user. So my gripe with this immediately is that it only restores a moderate amount of HP. I mean, there are unique soul breaks that restore a moderate amount of HP, and this is a burst soul break. I mean, all the other burst soul breaks that the white mage burst soul breaks, they heal for a large amount of HP, and trust me, as a player who doesn't have a burst soul break for a white mage, I do notice the substantial difference in a moderate amount heal versus a large amount of heal, right? So that first part right there is already to me is already a red flag. The second part is raises your allies' mind and magic by a moderate amount. Now this part's pretty cool. I mean, it's if you have a mage team, this could be good, but the problem with this is that there are already so many mage type characters out there that give moderate increases to magic, and in some cases they even offer haste as well. So this second part of the ability is just really lackluster, and I feel like just because they added this part, the second part where it raises magic in mind, the creators at Dino, they were like, oh, we have to balance this, so let's just make the initial heal on it a moderate amount instead of a large amount. And I feel like that's a very poor sacrifice. I mean, I would have just rather much prefer a large heal over a moderate heal, and then not have the second part of this soul break. I mean, it's just very bleh in my opinion. So let's go over the burst abilities. So the first burst ability is Valifer. Grant Summon Strike to the user. If the user already has Summon Strike, deal 4 Summon Magic non-elemental attacks to all targets, and remove Summon Strike from the user. Summon Strike is only active during the burst mode. So the second part right there, I don't like either. The part where it says Summon Strike is only active during burst mode. So that means, remember, so you use your burst soul break, and typically, a good way to gauge it is that your burst mode lasts for 4 turns, and Summon Strike will only last 4 turns at most, right? So that's already a no. It's not like the infused element mechanic, right? Like if the infused element that you get from a burst soul break, it's not like once the burst mode goes away, the infused element goes away, right? The infused element mechanic is actually a good mechanic, unlike this Summon Strike mechanic. Okay, so let's just go over it. So the second part I don't like, where it only lasts the duration of your burst mode. The other thing is, when you initially use it, the only thing it does is grants your character, in this case Yuna, Summon Strike. And then if you use it again, because the second time you use it, you'll have Summon Strike, and then you'll be able to do some damage with it. But my other problem with this is that after you use it, according to this, after you use Valifer a second time, it actually removes the Summon Strike. So out of the 4 turns that you have on your burst soul break, your burst mode, the first turn is to cast Summon Strike. The second turn, use ability, and the ability to remove Summon Strike. So third turn, cast Summon Strike again. Fourth turn, deals damage, removes summon strike, burst mode over. You essentially got off 2 attacks. Completely garbage. I personally don't really like that. I mean, I hope I'm interpreting this the wrong way. I hope that's not the case. I don't have the relic, so I can't fiddle with this. Now, let's go with the second ability. Restore small amount of HP to all allies. That part's pretty standard. A lot of burst soul break. The white mage burst soul breaks have this as a second burst ability. You know, just a small heal to the whole party. Now, but the thing about this is if you have summon strike, you get to do, you have an additional effect where you deal summon magic non-elemental damage to all target if user has summon strike. But so the cool thing about the second one is that it doesn't remove summon strike. So you use the primary burst ability once, Valifer, and then I guess you could spam a small heal for your whole party and then deal some damage while you're at it. Also, this robe gives a small boost to holy damage, so that's a 20% increase to holy damage. But the problem with this as well is that these summon abilities, they do only non-elemental damage. They don't do holy damage, so that small boost to holy damage is completely wasted, pretty much. If this is the only soul break you have for Yuna, right? I know their soul break. She has soul breaks where she does do holy damage, but these burst abilities don't offer holy damage. So this relic right here is just a pile of mess. Like, I don't even know what to make of this relic. So is this worth using? Definitely not. I personally don't like this. I think this should have been much better, but it's not. So that's my opinion on Yuna's second burst soul break. She's the first character to get a second burst soul break because her first one's garbage and now her second one's garbage. Once again, all of this is in my opinion. Okay, so now let's look at Blitz King. This is Jack's Overstrike soul break. It's pretty cool. Honestly, this is not bad. It deals dark and fire damage. He gets infused dark, I believe, from his burst soul break. So if you have that combined with this, you can get some pretty good damage going. Plus, Jack is a pretty versatile character. He has combat abilities, celerity ability, monk abilities, darkness ability. So pretty good character. Not the best in my opinion, mainly because lack of Spellblade ability, but not everybody can have Spellblades and all that stuff. But there are other issues with him that I personally don't agree with. But hey, if you pull this, not a bad thing to pull. Okay, so now let's go with Seymour. His burst soul break is Anima. Initial ability does dark damage, non-elemental damage, chance to KO, lowers dark resist. So pretty good. The most important thing here is that it also does non-elemental damage, so you don't get walled by bosses who absorb dark or something like that. Instant KO, not the biggest deal in the world because pretty much all bosses at this point are immune to instant KO. It's good for clearing out mobs though, but it's just like in the Final Fantasy X game where Anima's pain ability was only for clearing out mobs anyways. So I like how they added the instant KO part just because that's what Anima did in the game. So respect to that. Four abilities to single target. Four magic, dark, and non-elemental damage to single target. Deals 2 to all targets. Small chance to slow. Now that slow is actually pretty good. So all things considered, not bad. His super soul break gives chance to petrify. Once again, bosses can't be petrified, so meh. You do 5 hits, non-elemental dark, that's important. Non-elemental dual elements are very important, and it infuses him with the power of dark. Personally, this is a bit problematic because you need to have 2 soul breaks to be able to do your maximum damage, right? You have the first soul break to give yourself infused dark, and then your next soul break will be your burst soul break. So personally, I don't like this. I would rather just have the infused element on the burst soul break itself. That's why Lunith's burst soul break is so good. It not only is it a burst soul break, it gives him infused wind as well. I would have rather just Seymour's burst soul break give him infused dark, as you know, that would have just been perfect. And honestly, currently right now, sadly, dark teams aren't that great. There aren't that many bosses that are vulnerable to dark. So investing in a dark team could be cool, but it's honestly not a priority. It's extremely passable if if you if that's not what you're looking for. Don't worry about it. Like, if sorry, how should I say it? Pretty much what I'm saying is that not having a dark team isn't the biggest deal in the world. Okay, so Seymour's relics, although they're cool, once again, it requires too much setup. I feel the pain right now with Cloud. I mean, I have to use climb hazard into his overstrike, which is finishing touch. It's a complete pain in the butt. So I personally don't like this setup. Braska, what I haven't read most of these yet. So 7 fire damage, non-elemental, good, infused with fire. Cool, like that, but it's a super soul break. And then reduces the offensive magic cast time for allies. Cool, for 3 turns, temporarily raises magic and major regen. This is actually pretty good for a mage team, and that's funny because, you know, I was mentioning earlier with Yuna how there's so many characters that have it. Some offer haste, have this increased magic, a moderate amount. Some have haste. In this case, Braska has regen. I mean, it's not the worst thing in the world. Not the best, but hey, it's here, right? Kimari, I never liked Kimari, but 5 attacks to 1 target, and he gets magic blink. Now that part's cool. Unfortunately, Kimari is a horrible character. He's not a flexible character. He has access to very little abilities. His stats aren't that great. So this is meh. Orin's Samurai is not really in the meta right now, and it's only a unique soul break. And then Titus gives him I think this gives him infused water, right? No, it doesn't even do that. Okay. So, after going over this banner and going over the the summon strike mechanic and how bled it is, this heap of mess, I would say do not pull on this banner. Even if you need Final Fantasy X gear, this is not the banner to try and get it from. So definitely pass on this one. This is what I recommend. And I'll do another video when the next banner comes out. But for now, that's my opinion on the matter. Don't pull this banner. It's a really bad banner. The soul breaks in here are pretty bad. So yeah, there's that. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. Give this video a like if you did enjoy it. Hit that subscribe button if you want to see more daily Record Keeper content. And I'll talk to you guys tomorrow, okay? Take care. Bye.